Hey guys, it's Animelover and I'm back with another video. So we're back with another art supply review type video as I have so many things and I have a pile. I mean, it's only a 2 pile, but I have more stuff around our house I have to review as well. But I have these Kingart twin tip metallic pens. I touched the phone. But we were at the store and I had seen these and I thought these were kind of cool. And I was like, sure, let's get them. We don't actually have a lot of metallic markers, I think. No, I don't think so. So, why not get some more? Or at least try them and see if they're actually good. Because, why not? So, let's get into the swatching of these. So, nothing really noteworthy to really say about the color swatching besides that they are basically metallic markers and they are very shiny and they are they kind of have like a 2 different kind of color tone in a way. So, like, if say light is hitting it dead on, it's going to look very different to like if you pick the paper up and then you look at it, which happened to me multiple times where I was like, wow, I am being thrown off by the colors. Okay. So, like, that's a thing. So, another thing is, obviously, I will test it on, I didn't have black paper, so I just used a Sharpie to show if they could even go on anything black, and they can. I was actually, I wasn't surprised, but with this specific brand, I was surprised that they did. The white, though, was, like, one of the only ones that was, like, no, and I think it's because it's a pearlescent and not really a metallic, because that white didn't go on anything. It didn't even go over like its own like brand. So it's just like, oh, okay, so it just doesn't work on anything. That's cool to know. It's really pretty, but it doesn't go on anything, so it's just kind of weird. Like, it faintly goes over things and does change the color slightly. Other than that, that's all it kind of does. While the other ones actually went through like over everything and actually like was being opaque. You did end up seeing through it, unfortunately, at times. That was something I did notice and was kind of weird, was that you can, even though they're kind of opaque, you can still kind of see through them, and I was just like, So, I did try this weird kind of method. I don't use it any other time besides this, but I wanted to see if the colors would change based off of what was underneath it, because they kind of looked like they changed a little bit if something was underneath it. So I was like, okay, let's see if I can like do something with that. And so I was trying to see if I can make the gold look brighter and better. So I put the copper color down and I put the gold color down, and it looked like it did something, but at the same time, I wasn't also sure. I was very much doubting myself, and I was like, I have no idea if it does or doesn't. So, no idea. I also tried it with another set of 2 colors, and again, could not tell if it did. It started to rip up the paper around 3 layers, so definitely had to keep that in mind going into the drawing. So, you guys don't know this, but I had been holding off on trying to use these, like, markers for, like, a while, and that was just more for the sole fact of I had no idea what to draw. And I was just like, okay, whatever comes to my brain, the little blob thing that comes to my brain, I'm going to do that. And then think of, this weird, like, yes, that's what I want to do. I want to do blobs pulling out Excalibur, because why not? Might be cool with metallics. So while doing this, I obviously start with the sketch, and then I go in with the outlining layer off camera, as I didn't want my head to get in the camera for you guys, as it was going to look either really ugly or just look really bad, because I have to get, like, really close to the paper, as it's so hard to see sometimes, so I did not want you guys to have to see that. So it was all done off camera. But I will say, I was going into this with no plan. I was like, okay, so I have to use metallics. How am I going to use metallics? That was my biggest question I was having, was how am I going to do this? Am I going to color the whole thing fully? Am I going to, like, do only parts and leave a lot of it white? Am I gonna just, do weird stuff and figure it out kind of thing? And honestly, I picked option 4, which was not an option originally. I decided to do cross-hatching for it because I honestly, I tried very early on to try to color it in, and I realized if I was to do this, I shouldn't have outlined. I should have outlined last because it was very much like covering up my line art, and I'm like, I don't like that. And the only way that it looked good was with cross hatching, and I was like, and that's the method we're going. Is the shading going to look at all remotely good? No. Am I still going to try? Yes. So that was very much a fun experience for me, was trying to figure out how I was going to go about this whole piece, as I was very confused of what I was doing. So let's get into the pros and cons of these markers. So they are very shiny. I very much liked how shiny they were, as obviously they're metallic, so they should be shiny, and I did very much like that. Even though the white didn't really look like metallic or kind of worked kind of thing, and I didn't use it, I still liked the pearlescent look that it did give off, so I still give thumbs ups for that kind of thing. I also very much appreciated that they were opaque and that they went over basically anything very well. Obviously, even though they were kind of opaque, they do you can still kind of see through them a bit. So they weren't super opaque. I mean, I guess you could go over them another layer to make sure that they like cover up what you're trying to cover, but they were still pretty good for what I was using them for. With that said, I very much liked them over black paper. I wish I actually added more black, like, in this drawing to make it, like, them shine and pop out more on that, but unfortunately, that's not what I was thinking when I was doing this drawing, and I wish I kind of did. I really hope in the future I will come back to these and use these on a black, like, piece of paper drawing, as I think they would look really good and make the whole drawing pop. A thing that I also liked was that they did not bleed. So, you know how, like, when you use, like, alcohol markers, they kind of bleed and, like, fray out kind of bit? Well, these didn't do that, and I very much appreciated them for not doing that. Another thing that they also didn't do was they didn't bleed through the paper, which I have seen some metallic markers do before. So, very much appreciated that. They also had lots of colors. I think they had around, like, the whole rainbow, so I very much liked having all that, and it was very, very appreciative to have at least a good wide variety of different metallic kind of markers. They even gave us white, gray, and black, which they didn't have to do, and I very much liked that. With everything being said, let's get to the cons, as there is quite a lot. I definitely was not a huge fan of these markers. To be fair, they're metallic, and sometimes metallics can be a hit or miss. and these definitely, for me at least, were a miss. So, even though they gave us a wide variety of colors, I still thought the colors were kind of ugly. There was very few colors that I thought were actually really nice. Like, I don't know why, but they gave us, like, the ugliest gold. Like, I hate, anytime I get metallic, there's always this one type of gold, and it's so ugly, and I hate it. It's like, why couldn't you have given us the more orangey kind of gold? Like, that would have been so much better. So that was something I was really annoyed with. Another thing was, why did they give us 2 greens? I was like, why are there 2 greens? So you gave us the whole rainbow, and then you said, here's a green instead of, maybe indigo or something. And I was like, nah, here's 2 greens. And I'm like, why though? That's weird. That's a weird choice from the colors that you guys have. So I thought I was not a fan of having 2 greens. It kind of annoyed me, actually. My biggest thing, and I say this in any type of reviewing video, is if your packaging is a plastic thing and I can't shut it properly or anything like that, I hate it. This packaging was like that, and I hated it. I'm going to obviously throw away the packaging after this, as it was not noteworthy to me to keep it, and I'm just going to use a random, little, bag that I have, just to use that instead, as I, again, was just not a fan of the packaging that it was given. Another thing that I noticed, and I didn't actually notice it in this drawing, but when I was doing another drawing, because I'm working on mermaid kind of thing, I noticed that these got very dry if you use them, they got dry very quickly in a very short bit of time, and mostly when you're coloring in big spaces. Like, you'd think these would be fresh, really good, because they're brand new. No, I was coloring this big space, and it got dry extremely quickly, and I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And so I had to let it sit for a bit or just keep going, and it was very annoying how quickly they dried up, and I was like, what the heck, why is it so dry? Another thing I definitely noticed was that they had very much frayed tips. So I don't get bothered by frayed tips a lot with markers or anything like that, but they were so noticeable. Not in this drawing, like I said, in a different drawing I was working on, that it was really hard to get sharp lines when I was trying to do the line art of it and then go in and color. And I was very annoyed with how the tips were fraying, and it felt like the marker was going to fall apart when I was using it, and I was just like, oh, this marker sucks, kind of thing. Another thing that was very, very annoying, and I kind of noticed it in this drawing, but I very much noticed it more in my other drawing, was that it was so hard to see the colors straight on. So with how you guys are seeing it in the video, that is how I am also kind of seeing it. The colors are very much just shiny and bright, and they give off a different light kind of color look. Well, when you lift the paper up, they suddenly go dark, and you see their actual colors. And, in that process, you notice how many mistakes you made. And I said, oh. So I'll be coloring, and somehow I missed a good portion of a part, and I have to go back and color, but I have to have the book tilted up to color it in. I can't have it flat on the table, as literally, if I try, I can't see the mistake at all. And it was very irritating while working on it in this drawing and in the other drawing that I did. So very much was not a fan of that. And I wish I could have liked these markers more. I really tried to like them more. I will use them, obviously, as they are metallic, and they are very handy when I need shiny and metallic things, but I am not a huge fan of these, and I will just use them until I basically kill them. But if I will not be seeking these metallic markers out again, that's how much I was not a fan of them. So since we're getting close to the end of the video, I'm going to do a little self-promotion because, well, I can. So, if you guys want to get exclusive or early access to either normal art or our YouTube art, then you can go and check out our Patreon. We try to upload there as much as possible and as frequently as possible, as we both are very much making art and trying to upload it for you guys. And if you guys want to get very much early access to our YouTube art, which every time I do a recording, I always upload basically the drawing on the day that I recorded, so you guys will get that far before I upload a video. So if you want to see the art that we do, check out our Patreon and all that. And if you want to get commissions or yachas, check out our Ko-fi. If you're interested in any character designs, like custom characters or adopts, then check out our Toy House or our Instagram adopt account. All of those links will be down in the description down below if you're interested in supporting us. And if you guys did enjoy this video and you want to see more from us, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye!